Okay, so today we are about to forge a Jörmungandr pendant. I had a vote on in the community tab, and last time I checked, it was quite close between a forest pendant or a Jörmungandr pendant. But last time I checked, the Jörmungandr had more votes, so I chose to forge a Jörmungandr. So I start to forge the head. Like this, and for you, Jörmungandr is also known as the Midgard serpent from the Norse mythology. And it is said that he was so large that he could encircle the whole world and still biting its own tail. So that's what we are gonna depict it today as well, biting its own tail. One thing to mention here when cutting in material, it's really important to have these edges rounded, because if you have sharp edges, it will create sharp edges on the iron, and that causes stress, which can later on lead to cracks. So I don't know if you can see here, but right here in the mouth, I want to have it rounded, because if it would be sharp corners here, later when I forge the mouth, it could be that it cracks and worst case fall off. So therefore I'm gonna clean it up a little bit, making sure it's round. So I'm gonna change the chisel, and I got a rounded chisel here. So first I'm gonna cut off the lip. There we see. Yes, looks good. I want one of the lips to be a bit shorter than the other. That's why I cut it off. So the next thing I'm gonna do is to make sure it's rounded there inside in its mouth. Simply use myself as a vise. I usually do this by attaching the piece in the vise, but this works as well. I'm gonna take one more heat and do the same. Thin parts here, so it's easy to burn. burn things up. But this looks good. Got a nice round shape there. Then I'm gonna shape the bottom lip. Like a little bit more like this. Looks good so far. And I'm gonna draw out this upper lip and make a loop. This is gonna be a pendant, so I will need a loop to attach the cord. I might need my scrolling tongs, so I will keep them close. Then I'm gonna shape the loop. Oh, pretty good. I'm not do some small adjustments like these scrolling tongs. There we go. Looks good. Now it's time to punch the eye using this round punch. It's like a ball, small ball in the end. So we punch the eye. Okay, so we got it this far. The head is finished. So now I'm gonna draw out its body and make it biting its own tail. I'm gonna cut it off from the bar. Good morning. Someone says good morning. I just had my afternoon coffee break. But I hope you will have a great day. I'm gonna cut it off at 7. I got 7, a little bit more than 7 right there. Like so. Now I'm gonna draw it out. I cut it off at 7 centimeters. I'm gonna forge it out so it measures 12 centimeters. So I'm gonna make a mark at 12, so I don't have to use my tape measure. And there we go. I'm gonna draw out this. See, almost. I'll do some final touches, make it more even, and also make it round. When forging and drawing out, it's most of the time I first forge it square, even if I want it the end results to be round. I first forge it into a square profile, and then knocking down the corners and making it round. So I got it, it's the right length, and I'm also happy with it's a nice and even taper, so I'm gonna heat it up and make it into a round profile. Side. I don't know how the sound is. Would be happy for any feedback. In the last live I sent, it was a bit difficult to hear what I was saying. So therefore I got a microphone. So I have a microphone plugged now. I did some testing yesterday, and I think it would sound okay, but any feedback is welcome. Light taps, just making it nice and even, like this. Now we're gonna turn it into a circle, biting its own tail. And this is sometimes a bit tricky because it's thicker here. And so it's more difficult to get it bent right behind the head, and so it can be tricky to get a symmetrical circle, but there are some tricks you can do to make it easier. So far sounds good. Thanks for doing this. It's my pleasure. I'm very happy to see that people are interested in blacksmithing. So I am more than happy to do this. Invite you into my forge. So what I did here was to use water to cool off this loop here, because I don't want to deform it, since I made it so just as I want it now. Therefore I cool it off, then I can hammer on this and it will stay in its shape. So that's a very useful method. I'm gonna take one more heat and try to get a more bent right behind the head. Because once I continue with the circle, I can edit or adjust the tail, but it's difficult to adjust right behind the head. So therefore I want the radius to be right from the start. But I think we are good, so I will continue. I don't know if you see what I'm doing here. I'm forging. It should be all right. Forging on the horn. I'll continue bending it. Halfway, like this. Let's see if the tail meets its mouth. Light taps just to let's see. Here it's also, when you are at this stage, I can see that the circle is not symmetrical. Then I need to determine where shall it be bent. That can be tricky sometimes, and I read in a book that one hour drawing is 1 hour in the forge, and I think what they meant by that is to train your eyes to see these shapes, so you know, in this case, where to hit in order to get a symmetrical circle. Another good practice for that is forging spirals. Then you practice because a lot of bending and etc. So it's a good practice. But I am happy with this. I'm just gonna do a small adjustment right at the end of its tail. I'm gonna do that with the scrolling tongs, and then I'm gonna cool it off and we will have a look at the result. First, double check that it is as I want it to be. At this stage I could almost spend I could spend a lot of time making these small adjustments, but I am happy with it like this. Gonna make it straight. And I'm gonna show you how it turned out. I will still put a linseed oil coating on it, but since I am connected to my phone at the moment, I will do that later on when I'm disconnected. But yeah, I'll show you how it turned out. So here is how it turned out. The Jörmungandr pendant. Let's see, we got some questions here. Using medium heat during forming. Well, since it's quite thin material, let's see. Since it's quite thin material, it doesn't take much heat to bend it. At the end of the tail here, you could almost do it cold. So medium heat it's okay. And I am starting from 6x6 millimeter when I forged these. And I said in the beginning, for the tail, the total length of this serpent is 12 centimeter. I cut it off at 7 centimeter and then draw it out to 12. So I'm starting from 6x6. Yeah, so that's it. I also got a full video on my channel where I forged these, so if you're interested in getting it shot, you could watch that too. It's more, maybe a better angle, so you can see other details. And you can reach out to me and ask if there's anything you want help with. Yeah, but that's it for today. Thank you very much all who participated. Have a great weekend. Bye.